Thank you, and thank you to my colleagues for being down here fighting the fight that the American people want us to fight, and that's a fight for jobs. The American people, the people that I represent in Ohio, their #1 priority, by all means, is about putting people back to work, because as Representative Perlmutter just stated so eloquently, it really is about empowering people. They don't want a lot from their government, but they do want a government that will work with them and for them and enable, to the extent possible, play that role that will help spur our economy, invest in infrastructure which puts people back to work, level the playing field for our manufacturers. I come from a place where we have a very strong manufacturing base, and it hasn't always been treated fairly. We've had a lot of unfair trade deals that have been passed that have hurt the people that I represent, and we've had a lot of policies that, frankly, just didn't do them well, and we can do better. But here we are 200-some days into this new Congress under Republican leadership, and not a single jobs plan to come before this body. It is quite amazing to think about. Instead, what are they talking about? Imposing a budget that ends Medicare and protects the very tax breaks that end up shipping. Well, I am really proud to stand here with you tonight and to work on those policies that will put America back to work, that will strengthen not only our infrastructure but our economy, which will keep our place in this world as leaders. And so, as we move forward, I hope that our colleagues on the other side of the aisle will get focused on what America needs, and that is jobs, jobs, and jobs. And we have a role to play. We can deal with the deficit. We should deal with the deficit, but the kinds of cuts that they're talking about, ending Medicare, taking this out of our seniors instead of cutting those tax breaks that have existed for those oil companies and others at the very top that have been a burden to our middle class, because they're the ones who have to make up the difference. Let's focus on jobs. Let's encourage our colleagues in the GOP to get on board and start working on what America needs, and that is to put America back to work.
And we're going to make it in America.
And make
America
it in
is
America.
going to make it. We're going to make it. This is a great, strong country. Yesterday I heard during the debate that we're broke. We're not broke at all. We've got a deficit problem. We can deal with that with some good policies when we put people to work. This is America, and we're going to make it in America. You look at that thing that Mr. Perlmutter has over there, trade policies, we talked about that a little bit, taxes. We're spending our tax money on buying equipment that's made overseas when it ought to be made in Ohio. The buses, the trains, the solar panels, the wind turbines. How about doing those in Colorado? You have a plant there. Use our tax money to buy American-made equipment. Talk to me about research. Mr. Tonko, you come from one of the great early research centers of America.
Thank you. The original Tech Valley. Thank you, Representative Garamendi. I know we don't have much time. I'll do this quickly. The 21st Congressional District that I represent in upstate New York is the host community to the now Barge Canal. It gave birth to a necklace of communities dubbed mill towns that became the epicenters of invention and innovation. That same pioneer spirit is fed today. It's part of our DNA. But you need the investments in R&D. It's why my region is now one of the top 5 in the country for the growth of green-collar jobs. Innovation that is being advanced simply by investing, as we did in the prior Congress, in job creation, not cutting programs that provide opportunities for work. Instead, they're going and building up programs like handouts to the oil companies that aren't producing a job, tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. They need the dollars for that. They're cutting valuable programs that either speak to the dignity factor for our seniors through Medicare or advancing research and development that grows jobs. That's what we need to do. The Democrats are on message. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Solve the jobs crisis. You'll resolve the deficit situation, the revenue situation, the spending situation.
Well, we're going to put people back to work, and one way we're going to do it is with a clean energy policy. We need a national security policy on energy. And I know that part of that solution is going to come from Colorado, where they're doing the research and where they're making some of this equipment, and from Middle America. And I suspect even Vermont will have a piece of this puzzle. Mr. Perlmutter, tell us about the energy systems in Colorado.
Well, and I know time is short, so Colorado, we're very fortunate to have the National Renewable Energy Lab, which is the finest lab of its kind anywhere in the world, to help us develop ways to better use our energy. A gallon saved is a gallon earned, you know, that kind of thing, but focus on energy efficiency, renewable energy, solar, wind, biomass, geothermal. Those are new jobs. And to be more efficient with traditional energy sources, to be smarter about how we use them and how we extract them. This is about restoring the American dream for people. A good education, dignified and healthy lives as seniors, that's what we want to restore for America. Not all this gloom and doom and all that we're hearing and cuts. This is about restoring the American dream, and we can do this.
Okay, we're going to have our bullet session here. We're going to go around and we're going to wrap. We're going to start with Ms. Sutton from Ohio. You've got 37 seconds.
All right, thank you. Thank you again for having this hour, and it is so important that we do make it in America. I talked a little bit about jobs. I have a bill right now that's pending that I would encourage the Republicans to join me with in passing. It's called the Keep American Jobs from Going Down the Drain Act. It just says that as we rebuild our infrastructure here, our water infrastructure, our sewer infrastructure, that we do it with American iron and steel and manufactured goods. It's a jobs bill. It's a strengthening bill. It's good for America. This is a strong and great country, and I agree with my colleague. We can do better by it.
Mr. Tonko.
Our country is strong. Our